Hey guys, Eric Johnson. So I want to talk about backsliding because it's a real thing when you are trying to walk with the Lord, with Jesus. I've been saved since 2019, got water baptized in North Carolina, and been pretty much on fire for Jesus, but I haven't been going to church and haven't been reading my Bible. And recently I went to a hotel with my wife, and we were going to pick up a new kitten in Charlotte. So we went to a hotel. We like hotel stays because I can watch TV and she can take lots of baths. And that's just, it's just one of those things where we treat it like a vacation and we have fun. And we try not to do those things when we're at home. I don't watch TV at home. So when we go to a hotel, it's kind of like a special treat. We order lots of food from Grubhub, and we eat and watch TV. And so we were there for 4 days. And while we were there, I always had my laptop open on the table, and I can look over, and I had my inbox open, and I was constantly looking over at it from the TV, seeing if I had any new like leads from my online business. And I was getting irritated, and there wasn't, there was no leads and no commissions. It was just dead online. And then I was watching TV, and I was watching show after show after show, like marathon, watching the same type of show all day. It was like Cops or one of those reality police shows, and couldn't find anything to watch. I was getting frustrated with that. I was getting anxious. And so I was like looking away from the TV, looking at my laptop, and then just the noise of the TV, it was getting louder, it seemed like, and it was making me really anxious. And the not making money online was making me very irritable and frustrated. And I was just like, how am I gonna, how am I gonna pay my bills? How am I gonna save money? How are we gonna buy a house? And then at night, we sleep in separate beds when we're in a hotel, and I like touched myself and was trying to please myself. And then the next day there was shame, and then I would eat a lot of food, and I would just get so like bloated and feel gross and disgusted, and I couldn't stop eating. I was like, we have to eat this all, we can't throw it away. And so I was just like super full, and I just felt so fat and disgusted. And so like everything I did in that hotel was of this world, of the flesh, and nothing was satisfying. Everything was just left me felt emptier. Okay, I watched TV all day, and I was just getting anxious watching these cop shows, all these people getting arrested for drugs and doing horrible things to each other. And then I look over at my computer, and there was nothing going on, and I needed more. I needed more dopamine. I needed more stimulants. Okay, well, I'm going to eat more dessert, or I'm going to go back into my pasta, or I'm going to masturbate again. And it was just empty and empty and empty, and it was 4 days worth. And I felt so spent and defeated by the enemy. So when I finally got home after that, we came back home, and I have a picture of Jesus. And I know some of you are like, you can't have a picture of Jesus. You can't have a shrine of him. You can't do this. You can't do that. Well, I'm a visual person, and I like seeing Jesus. And so I came home, and I literally like started crying when I saw him, because I was like, he is the way. He is the truth. He is the life. All this other stuff is empty. And sometimes you have to go back and forth and test the waters. But ultimately you got to choose which side you live for. And Jesus one time told me, he said, you either live for me or you live for your flesh. Bottom line, it's black or white. It really is black or white, because the fence is owned by Satan. He wants you on the fence. He wants you lukewarm. He wants you backsliding. He doesn't want you to get into the Word. He doesn't want you to go to church. He doesn't want you to forgive your neighbors. He doesn't want you to forgive your past. Okay, he wants you to live in guilt, shame, anxiety, anger, and just testing the waters again as a sinner. I was like, this is horrible. Okay, I feel so empty right now. But when I came home and saw Jesus and started praying to him and thanking him so much for his mercy and grace, because it's nothing I did to win his love. He's loved me since I was born. All right? There's nothing that we can do to please him. He already loves us. And he wants us to get back on the wagon and live for him and love him like he loves us. He's not looking at our past. He's not judging us. He's not saying, well, you really screwed up this time. No, he loves us. He wants us to come back to him. That's it. And I was like, I'm so sorry, Jesus. Thank you for your mercy and grace. Because I know that when I was saved, 2016, the Holy Spirit came in and rocked me. I knew it was because it wasn't because of anything I did. He loved me and he saved me. The Holy Spirit came in through a hard rock Christian song. Holy Spirit rocked my world and I started following Jesus. And it was nothing I did. It wasn't because I was reading my Bible. It wasn't because I was praying. It wasn't because I was celibate. It wasn't any of that. In fact, I was deep in my sin when the Holy Spirit came into my life. You don't have to do jumping jacks for Jesus. He loves you. He just wants you to come back home and live with him and be righteous. Learn how to be righteous. And he'll give you strength over your flesh. He'll give you strength over your flesh. And so this relapse really taught me that the world does offer nothing. It's not sustaining. It doesn't fill your heart. And you always want more. Everything of this world, you always want more. You want more lust. You want more girls or guys. You want more alcohol. You want more weed. You want more money. You want a bigger house. It never ends. It's a hamster wheel, and it's ran by Satan. He wants you discouraged. He wants you to stay up and have sleepless nights worrying about your money, about your stocks, about your crypto, about your house, about are you with the right, spouse. All right, Satan wants you restless. He wants you anxious. He wants you angry. Jesus offers peace, and it feels so amazing. His love is so joyful, and it just washes me clean every single time. And he always wants us to come back home. We're lost sheep without him. We are just waiting to be eaten by the wolves in this world if we don't follow Jesus. So it's never too late. Read this prayer under this video. Say it out loud. Get back with Jesus because it's the only way. I cannot walk away from him again. The life is short. We are in the end times. You have to decide today if you're living for Satan or if you're living for Jesus. Like this video, subscribe, and we'll talk to you soon. God bless you. We're doing this together. Subscribe, and we'll talk to you soon.